Kyiv is the heart of Ukraine, through the veins of which flows a vibrant life. The city where dreams come true, and where thousands of Ukrainians start writing their history. However, believe us, you will also find a lot of interesting things to do here. Kyiv lives a vivid and dynamic life. It is a city that offers a combination of a rich historical past and a modern and advanced present. Residents and visitors can explore different neighborhoods and attractions, enjoy artistic performances, and feel the magic of nightlife. Kyiv is a fast-paced city driven by lively Ukrainians. So let's keep up and get to know it better. Kyiv is the capital and largest city of Ukraine, which is located in the north on the Dnieper River. Its history dates back more than 1,500 years. The formation of Kyiv has its roots in the early medieval history of the East Slavic tribes. According to historical accounts and legends, the city was founded in 482. It is believed that it was founded by the Poland prince Kyi, with his brothers Shek and Horev, as well as their sister Libid. The city was named in honor of Kyi, the eldest of the brothers, who is considered the founder of the city. It is one of the centers where the early Slavic culture originated as an important component of world civilization. In the 9th century, Kyiv became a significant center of trade and culture under the rule of the Varangians and the legendary ruler Oleg the Wise. The greatest prosperity of Kyiv fell during the reign of Vladimir the Great and Yaroslav the Wise in the late 10th and early 11th centuries. During Volodymyr's reign, Kyiv became the capital and powerful state of Kievan Rus. At that time, it covered vast territories. The state developed rapidly along with its capital, strengthening its power. From a small fortification, Kyiv turned into the second most populous city in Europe. According to scholars, it was home to up to 50,000 people. The largest European cities at that time had 10 to 20,000 people each. And the territory of the city increases several times. The first large stone buildings appeared, which was a great rarity in those times. The region experienced economic and cultural growth. Trade routes connected it with Byzantium and other parts of Europe. However, after the death of Yaroslav the Wise, a power struggle between his descendants began. The enmity of princes weakened Kievan Rus. This led to the conquest of Kyiv in 1240 by the Mughals, led by Batu Khan, during the Mughal invasion of Europe. The city suffered significant destruction, losing its importance as a powerful state. Then the region came under the rule of Lithuania and Poland. The city's decline lasted for several centuries. Kyiv experienced a revival in the 17th century with the emergence of the Cossacks. The Hetmanata, a semi-autonomous Cossack state centered in Kyiv, was established. However, the city changed hands repeatedly between Russia and Poland. In 1667, the Treaty of Andriivskyi divided the Hetmanata between Russia and Poland, and Kyiv became part of the Russian Empire. During Soviet times, Kyiv played an important role as the capital of the Ukrainian SSR. It was heavily damaged during World War II, but was rebuilt in the post-war period. After the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, Kyiv became the capital of independent Ukraine. Since then, the city has undergone significant development and plays a central role in the political, economic, and cultural life of Ukraine. The city is home to many historical and architectural landmarks, among them UNESCO World Heritage Sites. We will visit every corner and see what mighty Kyiv is breathing today. We will start our walk with the most prominent places that are the visiting cards of Kyiv. So, welcome to Maidan Nezalezhnosti, also known as Independence Square, the central square of the city. Maidan got its modern name in 1991 after Ukraine gained its independence. Over the years, thousands of people have gathered here to protest the government and demand change. Thus, 3 revolutions have taken place on Maidan Nezalezhnosti since its inception. The Granite Revolution in 1990, the Orange Revolution in 2004, and the Revolution of Dignity in 2013 to 2014. During the last 2 large-scale revolutions, Maidan gathered more than 10,000 protesters at the same time. The square has become a powerful symbol of the Ukrainian people's desire for freedom, democracy, and development. Nevertheless, Maidan Nezalezhnosti is not only a political center, but also a central place for cultural events, celebrations, and meetings. Among the notable objects on the square, you can see the 61-meter-high Independence Column. It's a prominent monument located in the center of the square, symbolizing the independence of Ukraine. It is the second tallest monument in the country. The column is topped by a statue of a bronze woman holding a viburnum branch, which is the national symbol of Ukraine. The monument was erected in 2001 and was unveiled on August 24th, the Independence Day of Ukraine. On the right side, not far from the column, there is a monument in honor of the Cossack Mamwy. This is one of the most popular images of a Cossack knight in Ukrainian culture, who is considered the personification of the Ukrainian people. Cossack Mamwy sits on a stone with a bandura. Despite the musical instrument in his hands, he is like a brave warrior, always carrying a sharp saber and pistols, with a long forelock and mustache, and his faithful horse stands behind him. On the left side of the column, on the hillside along the Heavenly 100 Heroes Alley, there is another interesting eco-object, a flower clock. It was opened on August 24, 2009. To create the clock, 50,000 flowers of different colors were used. Every year, the design of the clock changes, and up to 80,000 flowers of different shades are planted on it, forming new compositions. In addition, for public holidays, the clock also takes on a festive theme. So if you find yourself in Kyiv for a holiday, don't forget to go there and take a photo to remember the floral wonder. Kyiv Flower Clock can boast not only its incredible beauty, but also the fact that it is one of the 5 largest clocks in the world. Their total diameter exceeds 20 meters, and only the dial is more than 17 meters. In addition, from the side of the clock is the entrance to the shopping center, Globus 2, on the roof of which there is an observation deck. You can go up the stairs and get a good view of the Maidan and its sights from there. Also near the flower clock is a monument to the founders of Kyiv, in the form of a fountain. The sculptural composition, located in the center of the round fountain, represents the figures of three brothers, Kyi, Shek, Horev, and their sister Libdin, who stand on a stone block. Kyiv is depicted in armor with a sword and shield, Shek with a plow in his hands, and Horev with a bow, arrows, and a horn. Next to them is their sister Libid, with two swans flying up to the sky. The monument is the embodiment of the Ukrainian spirit, hardworking and freedom-loving people who, if necessary, will put on armor and fight for their lives. On the backside of the stone pedestal, you can see a relief image of ancient Kyiv. Maidan Nezalezhnosti is divided into two parts by Khreshchatyk Street. It also divides the Globus shopping center into two sides, Globus 1 and Globus 2. So we cross the street and start exploring the other side of the famous Maidan. Right in front of us, we can see another entrance to Globus 1. This shopping building was the first professional underground shopping center in the capital, built in 2002. Becoming one of the first, Globus was virtually unrivaled. Only its roof, a large glass dome, is visible on Maidan. The 35,000 square meter shopping center houses more than 100 different stores, dozens of restaurants, and cafes. Many visitors throw coins into the fountain at the food court to come back here in the future. You can always see coins from all over the world in the clear water. So if you would like to relax and have a delicious meal in one of the establishments or buy something as a souvenir, come here. You will definitely find what you are looking for. In addition to the dome of the shopping center, in summer, you can see fountains, lush greenery, and a relaxation area where you can sit down and admire the surrounding beauty. Meanwhile, we continue to introduce the architectural part of Maidan. From this side, you can see its borders, outlined by buildings arranged in a semicircle, streets like rays of the sun scatter from them in different directions. This is where such an interesting object as the Mariinsky Gate, an ancient historical monument of the Ukrainian capital, is located. It was the southeastern gate of ancient Kyiv. It was first mentioned in Chronicles in 1151. The gate was part of a system of defensive structures built by order of Yaroslav the Wise in the 30s of the 11th century. Throughout its existence, the wooden gate has been rebuilt several times, but its foundation has survived to this day. In 2001, the gate was recreated not far from the place where the remains of the foundation of the ancient Sagaidachnyi Gate were found. The modern version is decorated with the Archangel Michael. Speaking about architecture, it is impossible not to mention the House of Federation of Trade Unions. It is an impressive building of historical significance. At different times, it was home to the Federation of Trade Unions of Ukraine, the headquarters of protesters during the Orange Revolution in 2004, and the headquarters of the National Resistance during Euromaidan in 2014. It was during those events that a large-scale fire occurred and the house almost completely burned down. However, with the participation of private investors, it was fully restored later during 2016 to 2018. Currently, the building houses trade union organizations, the Information and Exhibition Center of the Maidan Museum, and offices of private companies. The building's main decoration is the country's main clock. That's what people call the electric clock of the 24-meter tower, which has been in place since 1980, changing only its appearance. In 2011, the clock was replaced with a modern LED clock that also served as a full-fledged multimedia display. In 2020, it was replaced with a 4-sided multimedia screen that shows the time, date, and temperature. It was also used to count down to the new year, which was broadcast on central TV channels. We continue to explore the area on this side of Maidan, on the left side of which is the building of Hall of Poshtant, Central Post Office, which dates back to the 19th century. The site where the main office of the Ukrainian Post now stands has undergone many twists and turns. Initially, it was a post office, which was eventually extended to provide additional space. However, this was not enough. As the postal and telephone services continued to grow, it was decided to build a new building. Unfortunately, this never happened. For more than 20 years, the site was an abandoned, fenced-in wasteland. It was only in 1934 that the project Palace of Communications was developed. And it was built in 1936 to 1941. Even so, in September 1941, the building was blown up by Soviet saboteurs. After World War II, a building was erected on the site of the Palace of Communications, which housed the State Committee of Television and Radio Broadcasting of Ukraine. Today, the premises are used by Ukposhta, the National Postal Service of Ukraine, the Ministry of Transport and Communications of Ukraine, and the State Department for Communications and Information. The building is a 7-story brick structure with a facade lined with light ceramic tiles in the classical style with elements of Ukrainian Baroque. Since 1999, the Central Post Office has been registered as an architectural monument of local importance and is under protection. So don't miss the opportunity to get to know the stone giant. In front of it, there is another interesting art object, the 0 kilometer. In many centers of world capitals, there is a special sign that shows the distance to a particular point on the planet. Kyiv also has a similar one. It is made in the form of a white marble column with a blue globe on it. 5 doves flying around symbolize the 5 regions of the world. On the pedestal are the distances in kilometers to different world capitals. The distances to the regional centers of Ukraine are written on lines that radiate in all directions along the pavement. Following the good habit of citizens to come up with their own names for their favorite places, Kyiv residents call it not only Globus, but also Chupa Chups. However, no matter what they call it, the 0 kilometer is one of the most favorite meeting places for the citizens. In general, there are many interesting things to see on Maidan Nezalezhnosti, both historical and modern. Be sure to come here and enjoy the architecture, feel the flavor of history, and take a photo. And we are moving on to Khreshchatyk Street. Khreshchatyk is the main street of Kyiv, which is the shortest, 1.3 kilometers, and at the same time, the widest main street in Europe. Width starts from 70 meters and in some places extends to 100 meters. It is a lively street with stores, cafes, and historic buildings. For example, one of the most famous stores in Ukraine, Tsum, is located here. Let's visit it and find out what makes it so popular. Tsum stands for Central Department Store in Kyiv, is a luxury shopping center. The department store is known for its upscale and luxury retail offerings, featuring a variety of international and Ukrainian designer brands. The building itself is an architectural landmark with a facade that reflects a combination of historical and modern elements. It was opened to the public in May 1939. Tsum attracts shoppers who are looking for luxury goods, fashion, and exclusivity. So if you are a hunter for original things, come here. We are sure that you'll manage to catch something interesting. The store also often hosts fashion events and showcases the latest trends in the world of luxury retail. In addition, you can also have fun here at the premium multiplex movie theater. On the 7th floor of the department store, there is a milk bar cafe with a panoramic terrace overlooking Khreshchatyk. So you'll experience the double pleasure of a meal and a view. Tsum is a landmark on Khreshchatyk, contributing to the street's reputation as a center for upscale shopping and cultural leisure. And we go on to explore Khreshchatyk Street. It is characterized by a combination of buildings from different periods, which demonstrates the historical and cultural evolution of the city. Several buildings on the street reflect the architectural style of the Soviet era. These structures, often characterized by monumental and imposing designs, were built in the mid-20th century. The Ukrainian Hotel, with its Stalinistic architecture, is one such example. Hotel Ukraina is one of the tallest hotels in Kyiv, offering panoramic views of the city, including the Dnieper River and the surrounding area. At one time, the skyscraper was the first 16-story building in Ukraine. Hotel guests were often amazed by the number of buttons in the elevator. The hotel has a rich history, having witnessed significant events over the years. It has undergone renovations to modernize the premises while retaining its historical character. Therefore, it's a good idea to stay in an iconic 4-star hotel in the heart of Kyiv. Not only the hotel, but Khreshchatyk Street itself has undergone significant changes since Ukraine gained independence in 1991. Many buildings have been reconstructed or renovated to adapt to new functions or styles. Some older structures have been restored to their pre-Soviet appearance. In recent years, new developments and objects of modern architecture have appeared along Khreshchatyk Street. These are modern office buildings, shopping centers, and entertainment complexes, which harmoniously fit into the existing urban landscape. On weekends and holidays, Khreshchatyk Street is usually closed off and becomes a pedestrian zone, allowing people to walk, shop, and enjoy the lively atmosphere without the noise of traffic. So take some time to stroll along Khreshchatyk and explore the architectural mix of Stalinistic, modernist, and postmodernist styles. Khreshchatyk is also a popular venue for public events and celebrations. On the streets, you can often find street musicians and dancers who will entertain you and charge you with their positive energy. After our acquaintance with Khreshchatyk, we will walk with you to Bessarabska Square. This is one of the most prominent squares in Kyiv. It's located in the center of the city, so you can easily get there. It's known for its historical significance, architectural landmarks, and vibrant atmosphere. Over the years, the area around Bessarabska Square has been renovated and improved, making it more attractive, but still retaining its historical spirit. The square is home to the Bessarabian Market, one of the oldest and most famous markets in Kyiv. The market building is an outstanding architectural creation and has a distinctive look thanks to its glass and steel dome. The market dates back to the early 20th century and offers a variety of provisions: fresh produce, meat, dairy products, and other goods. However, the market not only serves as a practical space for trade, but also contributes to the cultural and historical identity of this city. The Bessarabian Market building is an excellent example of the Art Nouveau architectural style. The design, characterized by intricate details, organic forms, and ornate decorations, gives the square a unique charm. The previously mentioned glass and steel dome is an important feature of the market, allowing natural light to illuminate the market hall. The dome has become an iconic symbol of the square, so it often finds its way into the cameras of both visitors and locals. So come and buy some Ukrainian delicacies and catch the lively shopping rhythm. In addition to the market, the square is surrounded by a mix of historic and modern buildings, adding eclecticism to the urban landscape of Kyiv. Nearby attractions include theaters, shopping malls, and restaurants. By the way, Bessarabska Square is the transportation hub with several types of public transportation, including buses and trolleybuses. The central location of the square makes it a convenient starting point for exploring different parts of the city. However, if you are already on Bessarabska Square, then the next place we want to introduce you to is just a stone's throw away. Not far away is the remarkable Taras Shevchenko Park, a significant green area named in honor of the national poet and cultural icon of Ukraine, Taras Shevchenko. The park is located in the central part of the city, not far from the red building of Taras Shevchenko National University of Kyiv and the legendary Khreshchatyk Street. In the park, in the very center, you'll find the Taras Shevchenko Monument, which overlooks the main building of the university. The outstanding bronze statue of the poet was erected in 1939. It's a cultural and historical symbol that honors Shevchenko's contribution to Ukrainian literature and national identity. The monument stands on a granite pedestal and is surrounded by a landscaped area that provides a tranquil space for visitors. The park itself is a popular recreational destination for everyone. It offers walking paths, benches, and green plantations, providing a relaxing environment in the middle of the bustling city. Moreover, in the southern part of the park, there is a Sagaidachnyi, or garden, a place where Kyiv citizens gather to play board games such as chess, checkers, dominoes, backgammon, and cards. So if you are interested in this kind of thing, play with the locals. This way, you will not only immerse yourself in an exciting game, but also learn interesting facts about the city and its history from the residents. The park also has interesting art objects that deserve your attention, such as the Love Universe sculpture. The sculpture, made of mirrored metal ribbons, creates a male and female silhouette intertwined in an embrace. This modern art installation of two lovers creates a romantic mood. The artist of this composition notes that at a time when Ukraine is in such a difficult situation, it is more important than ever to remember love, humanity, and kindness. If you're tired, you can visit an arranged resting place with benches, but not simple ones. In Shevchenko Park, there are designer benches that look more like massage chairs. They look so comfortable. So here you can relax and enjoy nature. The park also hosts meetings and cultural events, making it a colorful part of Kyiv's urban landscape. If you're on vacation with children, there is an organized playground where they can play. Well, Shevchenko Park is a modern green zone with well-developed infrastructure. It has everything you need for recreation and walks. Well-groomed lawns, trees that protect you from the heat, rain shelters, free Wi-Fi, a restaurant in the style of a Ukrainian hut, and many mobile food outlets. In addition, there is an artisan water fountain for those who want to quench their thirst. There are 3 fountains, one of which is the Black Sea Fountain Pond, with the outlines of the Crimean Peninsula and a sculpture of a fisherman boy. So come here. You will definitely have a cozy and enjoyable time. And we move further along our route and get to the National Opera of Ukraine. The National Academic Opera and Ballet Theater of Ukraine is located in the very center of the city, on Volodymyrska Street. Its central location makes it easily accessible for all travelers. The Opera House has a rich history that dates back to the late 19th century. From the very beginning, the theater company worked in the premises of the City Theater, which was built in 1856. However, in February 1896, after a matinee performance, there was a fire that completely destroyed the City Theater building. After this incident, it was decided to build a new one. The foundation stone of the new Opera and Ballet Theater was laid in 1898. The official opening of the theater took place in 1901. Throughout its history, the Kyiv Opera House has been a cultural center that has hosted various opera and ballet performances. It offers a diverse repertoire, including classical, contemporary, and traditional Ukrainian productions. The theater showcases the talent of Ukrainian performers and also attracts international artists. In addition to regular opera and ballet performances, the Kyiv Theater often hosts various cultural events, festivals, and special productions. It plays an important role in the cultural life of Kyiv and contributes to the vibrant artistic life of the city. The theater has always fascinated visitors, not only with its artistic program, but also with the exterior of the building itself, which is a true architectural masterpiece. The building reflects a combination of styles, including elements of Renaissance and Baroque architecture. The facade is decorated with sculptures and ornate details, creating a grandiose and aesthetically pleasing appearance. The interior of the Opera House is as impressive as its exterior. Lush decorations, intricate moldings, and a magnificent chandelier add to the sophistication and elegance of the theater. The auditorium is designed to provide excellent acoustics and visibility for the audience. Next, we'll walk with you to the majestic and no less outstanding historical landmark, which is another visiting card of the city. We are talking about the Golden Gate, which is a symbol of Kyiv and its rich history. The Golden Gate was built during the reign of Yaroslav the Wise in the 11th century. They served as the main entrance to the city and were an important defense structure in Kievan Rus. The gates are an excellent example of medieval fortification architecture. Originally, the gates were decorated with a golden dome, which most likely gave it its name. However, they are not only a defensive structure, but also had a symbolic meaning. They personify the greatness and importance of Kyiv as the capital of Kievan Rus. Over the centuries, the Golden Gate has been subjected to numerous reconstructions and restorations. However, in the 1980s, a full-scale reconstruction took place, during which a pavilion in the old Rus style was built. It returned the gate to its historic appearance. The area around the Golden Gate also includes a park and provides a picturesque setting for visitors. The Golden Gate remains a symbol of Kyiv's resilience and cultural heritage. Its historical and architectural significance makes it a must-see for those interested in the roots of Kievan Rus and the history of the Ukrainian capital. It is simply impossible to imagine Kyiv without the Golden Gate. This monument is inextricably linked to the city and is an integral part of it. Let's also pay attention to another place, which is part of the UNESCO World Heritage Site. We're talking about Sophia Square, which is of historical importance because it was part of the ancient city of Kyiv. It reflects the cultural and architectural wealth of Kievan Rus. In 1888, a monument to Bogdan Khmelnytsky was erected in the center of the square. The figure of the hetman on a horse with a mace in his hands decorates the square, honoring the memory of the glorious Ukrainian Cossack. Visit the square and enjoy the rich history surrounding architecture and cultural atmosphere. In addition, Sophia Square is decorated with greenery and park areas, providing you with a pleasant space to relax and enjoy the surrounding landscape. Various cultural events, festivals, and gatherings can also take place on the square. If you come here during the winter holidays, you will immerse yourself in a cozy and festive atmosphere. Every year, a nativity scene, a traditional puppet theater, is set up on Sophia Square to celebrate Christmas. And on New Year's Eve, the square becomes the center of folk festivities and performances of folklore ensembles. Sophia Square remains an integral part of Kyiv's historical core, offering visitors a glimpse into the city's past. Let's give our eyes a break from architecture and get acquainted with another green wonder of Kyiv, Mariinsky Park. The park is a popular vacation spot for both locals and guests of the city. Foreign visitors are often impressed by the architecture of the palace ensemble, the picturesque surroundings, and the abundance of greenery. The park offers both relaxing and active rest. It is ideal for leisurely walks and meditation. On its territory, you can sit on comfortable benches, breathe fresh air, and admire the lush greenery. While walking along the park's alleys, you'll be accompanied by sculptures that decorate the park paths. In addition, Mariinsky Park is decorated with various monuments and statues that pay tribute to historical figures and events. There's also a magnificent fountain on the territory that is sure to make an unforgettable impression on you. Also, do not pass by the observation deck. The park's location along the Dnieper River offers visitors magnificent views of the river itself and the cityscape, making it a picturesque place to relax. Speaking of active rest, in the warm season, the summer stage usually hosts performances by creative groups, master classes, sports training, and other events. So you will definitely not be bored in the Green Grove. You can enjoy visiting Mariinsky Park all year round. The park looks especially spectacular and beautiful in early spring and fall. And in winter, it turns into a real fairy tale forest. Another favorite place for tourists and young people is the Bridge of Lovers, which is ideal for meetings, romantic dates, and walks. So take a walk along it, and you might find your love. Besides, we would like to mention one more attraction that is hidden in the green thicket. Its exterior resembles a castle from Disney cartoons, mesmerizing not only small, but also adult visitors. Fountains, stones, clock towers, absolutely all elements promise to give guests a fascinating journey into a magical land. We are talking about the Kyiv Puppet Theater, where the audience is waiting for a pleasant atmosphere, interesting repertoire, great acting, unusual scenery, and a cheerful mood. The value of the institution is that it not only entertains, but also develops. So if you're on vacation with children, give them an unforgettable journey into a magical world. Mariinsky Park remains one of the favorites of Kyiv residents, providing an opportunity to escape from the noisy city. Whether for strolls, cultural events, or for relaxing in the fresh air, the park is a perfect place for all vacationers. And we are moving on to the outstanding Petro Sagaidachnyi Street. It is located in the historic district of Podol, which is known for its cobblestone streets, ancient architecture, and vibrant atmosphere. The street is dotted with houses that demonstrate a combination of different architectural styles, from traditional Ukrainian to Baroque and Art Nouveau. Many houses from the 18th and 19th centuries have been preserved on the street. The street was named in honor of Petro Sagaidachnyi, headman of the Zaporozhian Cossacks of the 17th century. Hetmans were military leaders and political figures in the Cossack semi-autonomous state within the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth. Petro Sagaidachnyi Street is known for its vivid cultural and artistic life. It is home to numerous art galleries, studios, and cultural spaces that contribute to the creative atmosphere of the neighborhood. There are also many restaurants, cafes, and pubs on the street, offering a variety of different cuisines. It is a popular place where locals and visitors alike can enjoy a meal, coffee, or drink in a relaxed environment. So all you have to do is visit and explore all the sights of the street and enjoy its historical charm. Another not less interesting place we want to introduce you to is Poshtova Square, or Postal Square. It is one of the oldest in Kyiv. Historians testify that the first settlements here were in the 4th century. And nowadays, it is a comfortable zone for walking and contemplating beauty. After all, the square is famous for its enchanting views of the Dnieper River and access to the embankment. Besides, you can always go on a boat trip to walk along the water and take a better look at the scenery. In the center of the city, there is a beautiful fountain, which will not leave you indifferent. By the way, it's made almost on the same level as the square, So in hot weather, you can see children running around it. And in the evening on Poshtova Square, it's an incredibly beautiful sight. It is illuminated with different colors, creating a fabulous picture. This performance is worth seeing with your own eyes. Also in 2017, a monument to the little founders of Kyiv was unveiled on the square. Already known to you characters, Ki, Shek, Horev, and Libdiv appeared in the image of children. They are happily playing boats and showing tourists the most interesting sights of the capital. After all, under their feet is a map of Kyiv with landmarks. By the way, do not miss another attraction located in Poshtova Square, the Kyiv Funicular. The funicular was opened in 1905 and has been an integral part of Kyiv's public transportation system ever since. Just imagine, the funicular is on the list of the oldest funiculars in the world. It was designed by engineer Arthur Abrahams, and its architectural style reflects the Art Nouveau tendencies of the early 20th century. The station buildings at the upper and lower ends of the funicular are noteworthy for their design. So why do we advise you to use it, you may ask? The funicular offers a short but pleasant ride with panoramic views of the Dnieper River, Kyiv's historic Podol district, and the city skyline. The Kyiv funicular adds both historical and practical value to the city by providing a unique and efficient means of transportation, as well as spectacular views of the Kyiv landscape. Well, if you've already taken the funicular, we're moving on to Kontraktova Square. It is also one of the oldest squares in Kyiv, as it dates back to the Middle Ages, when Podol was the main trading and crafts part of Kyiv. Over the years, Kontraktova Square remained the center of city life, where various celebrations, fairs, and trade events took place. The place for such events was chosen not by chance, because nearby was the port of Kyiv, which was the main source of export-import supplies. And the name Kontraktova itself comes from the word contracts, which were concluded on this square by Kyiv merchants. Another notable object on this square is the Samson Fountain. This is one of the oldest fountains in the capital. Historians believe that a spring water pool was here as early as the times of Kievan Rus. The water was supplied through wooden pipes. However, the fountain in the classical sense of the word appeared in the 17th century. Kontraktova is famous not only for its historical sites, as in 2017 it received a new symbol, a Ferris wheel, which was brought from France for the New Year holidays and later left forever. Its height is 43 meters, making it the tallest Ferris wheel in the capital. It offers an incredible view of the city. Well, the architecture of Kontraktova Square is a combination of different styles and eras, reflecting the centuries-old history of this area. However, there is one more place where history is frozen in time, and that is Andriivskyi Descent. Andriivskyi Descent is a historical street that dates back to the 18th century. It is one of the oldest parts of Kyiv, representing a real open-air museum. Many of the buildings on Andriivskyi Descent date back to the 18th and 19th centuries. These structures represent the architectural style of the time, with features such as ornate facades, decorative elements, and characteristic patterns around the windows. Many of the houses have colorful facades that add to the street's lively and artistic spirit. The vibrant colors combined with the eclectic architecture create a unique visual charm for those exploring Andriivskyi Descent. The street itself is paved with cobblestones, which adds to the historic and atmospheric character of the area. Cobblestone streets were common in European cities in the past and are often associated with historic neighborhoods. The architectural diversity of Andriivskyi Descent contributes to its status as a cultural and artistic center of Kyiv. Its well-preserved buildings and historical vibe make it a visually interesting place, attracting both locals and guests of the city interested in exploring the city's architectural heritage. Another compositional marvel of Kyiv is the Arch of Freedom of the Ukrainian people. Until 2022, it was known as the Arch of Friendship of Peoples. It consists of a rainbow arch made of titanium and is about 50 meters wide and 35 meters high. The arch was created in November 1981 as part of the celebration of the 1500th anniversary of the founding of Kyiv and the 60th anniversary of the formation of the USSR. Under the 35-meter arch was a monument based on the motif of the Pereyaslav Rada of 1654, when a peaceful union was concluded between the Ukrainian Cossack state of the Hetmanate and the Moscow Empire. Also, a Soviet bronze statue of two workers installed in 1982 used to stand under the archway, marking the reunification of Ukraine with Russia. However, all the monuments were demolished. These actions showed that unification with Russia was out of the question because Ukraine is an independent and free state. Despite the rather gloomy history of the arch, the view from it is incredible. Opposite the monumental structure, there is an observation deck where you can see the left bank of majestic Kyiv. Take photos and enjoy the moment. We can also offer you a walk about 30 meters above the ground. We are talking about a fairly new construction, which was opened in 2019 and managed to become one of the most visited attractions of the city, the Glass Bridge. The pedestrian and bicycle bridge is 216 meters long. It is called glassy because of the glass inserts in the floor and also because of the glass bridge fence. The bridge connects Volodymyrsky Descent and the Arch of Freedom of the Ukrainian people. So explore this route and have a unique experience walking the unusual bridge and admiring the views. You've walked over the land? Now it's time to walk over the water. We want to tell you about another interesting place for promenades, Park Bridge. The pedestrian bridge across the Dnieper River connects the central part of Kyiv with the park zone and the beaches of Trukhanov Island. It was built in 1956 to 1957. Nevertheless, it is a modern and equipped overhead structure. Its length is 426 meters. The width of the pedestrian part is 7 meters, and the height above the Dnieper River level is 26 meters, which ensures unimpeded passage of ships. If you like extreme activities, the Park Bridge can offer you a chance to test your mettle. If the weather is good, you can jump from it with a climbing safety system, rope jumping. So, daredevils are invited to get sharp and unforgettable emotions. In general, the bridge is a favorite place for walks and dates among Kyiv residents. Fresh air, a stroll, and a beautiful view. What else do people need to relax from the hectic city? However, before you come to explore Kyiv, it is good to know about certain aspects that will help make the trip pleasant and trouble-free. Let's start with the most important thing: documents. Ukraine has a visa-free regime, but if you are a citizen of a country with which it is not concluded, you will need to apply for a visa to enter Ukraine. Therefore, check the visa requirements for your country and make sure you have the necessary documents. The next, no less important aspect of traveling is money. The official currency in Ukraine is the Ukrainian hryvnia, or UAH. Credit cards are widely accepted in large establishments, but it is advisable to have some local currency with you just in case, so take care of it in advance. Ukrainian is the official language in the state, but many people, especially in tourist areas and businesses, speak English. However, if you learn a few basic Ukrainian phrases, it will definitely be appreciated by the smiles of the locals. Getting around Kyiv will not be a problem for you, as the city has an extensive public transportation system, including buses, trolley buses, and metro. Taxi services and car, bicycle, and scooter rentals are also available. Kyiv is generally a safe city, but as in any other tourist destination, it's important to be aware of your surroundings. Be careful with your belongings, especially in crowded places. Ukrainians in general are known for their hospitality and friendliness. It's customary to greet people with a handshake, and it's considered polite to take off your shoes when you enter someone's home. Be aware of cultural sensitivities and respect local traditions. Speaking of culture, we would like to help you choose souvenirs for your loved ones. If you are looking for universal souvenirs, bring traditional delicacies from Kyiv. On the shelves of local markets and shops, you'll find many options for various delicacies for every taste. The most popular delicacy is the famous Kyiv cake, which is available in almost all local supermarkets. A bottle of high-quality local alcohol will also make a great gift. Among the most famous are liqueurs made with cherries, raspberries, and other berries, pepper, mead, and other craft drinks. In addition, one of the most famous souvenirs is the Ukrainian embroidered shirt called Vyshyvanka. Today, this element of Ukrainian national costume is increasingly being introduced into everyday clothes. Many designers offer a lot of interesting variants of modern embroidered shirts that look stylish and at the same time go well with basic things. They are sold not only in souvenir stores, but also in many local clothing stores and boutiques. We believe your friends and family will be delighted with these gifts from the glorious city of Kyiv. In conclusion, don't forget to check local sources or contact the embassy for the latest information before traveling. Having up-to-date information and taking into account our advice, your vacation will be interesting and unforgettable. In general, as you may have realized from our walk, that Kyiv is a unique city that breathes history. It boasts a rich architectural heritage that includes a mix of styles from the Middle Ages to Baroque, Art Nouveau, and Soviet modernism. Nevertheless, the historic architecture fits well with the modern and fast-paced rhythm of the Ukrainian capital. In recent years, Kyiv has undergone significant modernization with new infrastructure, shopping centers, and business districts. The cityscape is characterized by a mix of historic and modern buildings. This landscape is decorated with numerous green areas where everyone can relax and be alone with nature. This is the city where people breathe in freedom, inspiration, and beauty. Despite everything, Kyiv continues to be a dynamic and lively center of Eastern Europe.